Hey guys, it's Gabby. Today I was just gonna talk about my, I guess what should have been my rock bottom, in my drug addiction. Today I have about 14 and a half months sober, which is pretty awesome for me. One day is amazing for anyone. So I was going to explain, if somebody doesn't really know what a rock bottom is, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people do know what a rock bottom is. And I would have thought that my rock bottom was losing my son, custody of my son, who's 5 right now. I lost custody of him when he was around 3.5. I was using drugs in front of him. I was addicted to pain pills. I was snorting them. I never injected pain pills. I only injected heroin one time, and that's when I OD'd, and I had a stroke, and that was... It's crazy because that was enough for me not to ever shoot up again. But it wasn't enough for me to quit drugs altogether. But when I lost custody of my son, like I said, I was using drugs in front of him. Thought he was little enough not to really understand what was going on. But he did understand what was going on. He went to his dad's house on a visitation. The visitation schedule at that time was he was with me for 1 week and he was with his father for 1 week. And, we split holidays, odd years, even years, stuff like that. So he went to his father's on a visitation. And he was not supposed to go until Monday. I had just got him back from his father's visitation, and by Wednesday, I was already, sick. I didn't have any drugs, and I just didn't know how to cope with life in general without drugs at that time. So it was like every single thing that my son was doing was really getting on my nerves, and I know... that sounds terrible, but, if somebody is a drug addict, they know what it's like to have to deal with something, anything in life. When you're withdrawing, you don't want to deal with it. And I love my son with all my heart. I do. I truly, truly do. But at that time, drugs were more important. Sorry about that. So... I called his dad and told his dad, I wasn't feeling well. Didn't really explain why, of course. I didn't want his dad to know, but I'm sure his dad knew deep down inside that something was seriously wrong. So I called his dad and let his dad know, hey, I'm not feeling well. Can you please come pick him up? And that was the last time I had seen him for a while. It was about 6 to 7 months once I got to see him again. While he was on that visitation with his dad went and filed for emergency custody. My son had went back and told his dad, mommy is putting straws up her nose, and I was also taking my son to my local drug dealer, and my son told his father about that, and this is my cat coming into the view. And his father actually knew the guy who I was getting my drugs from. He knew him very well. So I received papers in the mail that he was filed for emergency custody. And in my brain, as an addict, I really don't know how to explain that. I wasn't distraught. I kind of looked at it as, wow, now I can really party and I can do what I want. As terrible as that sounds, that was the true story of how deep and powerful the addiction is. So once that happened, I really went. I mean, I was using $100 a day on pills. If I could have got more, I would have used more. But I was, kind of limited on my funds, and I would, get money from my fiance, and he knew what it was for. He would take me to do it, and, he was, I guess, the enabler type person. But we constantly fought day in and day out over it. So, losing custody of my son at that time was still not my rock bottom. We ended up going to court, and before we actually went to court, a lady from CPS had came to my house, and she did like a house visit, and she said nothing was wrong with my house, that my house was fine enough for a child to be living in, but she requested a drug test, random, and I never liked random drug tests, because I didn't have enough time to get anything out of my system, because I was also taking Xanax, Seroquel, many other things besides just Percocets. So I tried to manipulate her and say, hey, I can't go to the bathroom right now. Can you please come back? So she kind of bought that, and she came back the following day, which still didn't give me enough time. So I tried to get some of my fiance's urine because he doesn't do drugs. And I tried to use that, but the first time when she gave me the cup to go in the bathroom, she didn't watch me. But then when she came back, I guess me pushing her off gave her the inkling as something is going on. So when she came back, she watched me. And there was no me being able to use my fiance's urine while she's watching over me what I'm doing. So of course when I did my urine, I was dirty for marijuana, Percocets, benzos, whatever Seroquel pops up as. I was dirty for about 4 or 5 different things. So she filed that in court, and by the time we went to court, the judge had all that information. And when I went to court, his father was granted full custody of my son, and I was to do supervised visitations with my son's grandmother for 2 hours, 1 time a week. And at first, I was I did not like I was only getting 2 hours, 1 day a week, on the weekend. Here goes my cat again. Come on, kitty. But once I was going, I was still with. Come on, cat. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Come on, Oliver. This is my new kitty, by the way. This is my new kitty, Oliver. Now I lost my train of thought. Okay, I was still using while I was going and doing my visitations, and I was very upset when I found out that my son was calling his father's girlfriend Mama. That upset me very, very much. I was very, very, angry, resentful. I was mad at his father for allowing him to call her that. So some of the visitations, did not go well when I was supervised in the beginning before I got clean. Because when I would hear him call her Mama, I would get very angry, and I would there was one incident where I kind of got very angry, and I told them I was leaving, and I'm not going to sit here and listen to him call her Mama. So to fast forward just a little bit more, I ended up just waking up. It was actually my son's birthday. It was August 19th. And it was August 19th of 2016. All night long I had just been thinking, I need to do something different. And that was actually after, the weird and crazy thing is, that was after I finished snorting my last 5 Percocets. I was definitely, I could have OD'd at any point in time, because I would do 5 Percocets, which are 15 milligram, 30, whatever I can get a hold of. I would do all 5 of them within a 2-hour period. It was just, I could not get enough. So I did my perks, and I just ended up thinking to myself, this is not the way that I want to continue to live. I lost my son. I need to do something different. So I had texted my fiance and let him know, hey, I really think I need to go into treatment. And I think at first he didn't believe me that I was really, truly going to do it. He thought I was just, I was withdrawing. I didn't feel good, so I was saying anything I needed to say. But actually, that day, the morning that I woke up, which was August 19th, I went to go to a treatment facility that is down the street from my house. It's called Carol Porto. And they were not taking people at that time because you could not go in there, and you can't be in that treatment facility while you're withdrawing. And of course, I would definitely be withdrawing. So they did not take me there. Instead, I went to a different place on the Eastern Shore called Warwick Manor. I was there for 2 weeks, and that's a detox center. So I detoxed there. I was on Suboxone, subs, whatever you want to call them, for about a week to 9 days. And then every time they could just quit gradually weaning me down. And I like that because I did not want to be addicted to something else, because a lot of people will get off of drugs, heroin, whatever, and then they'll be addicted to the Suboxone or methadone, and they'll be on it for years, and I just did not want to do that. So I was in Warwick Manor, like I said, for about 2 weeks. Once I got into Carol Porto, on September 2nd, and I left there October 27th. And Carol Porto is a really, really good place. I mean, that place definitely saved my life. I've been sober ever since. I've been sober since August 19th of 2016. And I'm just really grateful. It's a really good feeling to be able to wake up every day and not be in withdrawal, not be looking and hunting down pills all day long. So now that I have been sober for a year, I was still on supervised visitation even when I got sober, which at that point in time, it got easier because I was in the right frame of mind. And when I was hearing my son call his father's girlfriend Mama, it did not bother me as much because I was thinking deep down inside, well, while I've been away and been in treatment, she was being the mom that I could not be at that time. And I was grateful for that. And I'm still grateful for that because, my son is not in my custody right now. He is still being, he's still being raised by his dad and his dad's girlfriend. He still calls her Mama. And it doesn't bother me at all anymore. So we have already gone back to court. I am no longer supervised. Yay, yay. I'm no longer supervised with my son. I get him every weekend, should I say, on a Saturday or a Sunday, whatever day is more convenient. I get him for a few hours, and then as things progress further, I will get him for more time. Then he will be able to start coming back to my home. And everything is just working out really, really good. I also have my other son in my, in my care right now. And He has been living with his father for the past 9 years, and I had not seen him for 9 years. And now he is in my custody. He's living with me. He is going to high school down here. And none of this would have happened if I had not gotten a recovery. So, for anybody out there thinking, you know, nothing ever is good gonna happen, you know, and stuff like that. You know, some people just don't want to be in recovery, and some people do want to be in recovery. And it's all up to the individual. But good things do happen over time. I mean, it took me a year to be able to finally get unsupervised visitation with my son. And, I mean, it was like the longest year. It felt like the longest year of my life. But every single day, I knew I was moving further and further away from my addiction and closer to being with my son. So I'm hoping that this video will be able to reach out to somebody and let somebody know that freedom from addiction is very possible. And if you have lost your custody of your children, or anything has happened in that regard of your kids, things will get better soon. And this is my opinion, and my opinion only. Do not, you know, get mad or, you know, but if you are using drugs or drinking alcohol in front of your children, no matter what their age is, I would consider that you do not do that. Because kids are a lot smarter than people think that they are. I would have had no idea that my son would have went to his dad and said, "Mommy sticks straws up her nose," and knows what was going on. But my son is a little smarty pants, for one. And children are a lot smarter than what we give them credit for. So, I'm hoping that this video will reach somebody. Sometimes I kind of feel like I just ramble on and on. But as long as my video can touch somebody, I can ramble on and on all day. I'm gonna go ahead and get me something to eat. I just wanted to make this video. Like I said, I just got up a little while ago, which is terrible. Didn't make it to my noon meeting today like I normally do. Didn't really have a ride. And also, meetings are super important. Here's my kitty again. Say hi, Oliver. Meetings are super important to me. I try to make 2 meetings a day. You know, I secretary 3 meetings, which means I'm the person who runs the meeting, you know, and stuff like that. And I've also gone... Hey! I am so sorry. This cat is driving me crazy. Come on, Oliver. I'm so sorry. This cat's driving me nuts. Okay. I'm also going now into Cerro Porto, the facility that I went through and I graduated with honors. I'm also now going back into Cerro Porto. Oh my God, this fucking thing. God forgive me, but I am really getting irritated with this cat. With this cat! Okay, I'm so sorry, but this cat it's not my cat, it's my son's cat. And he's in school right now, so I have to be taking care of him, and he is driving me nuts. Okay, but like I was saying, I'm going to Cerro Porto now, the treatment center that I graduated from, and I am now taking meetings inside of that facility. And I hope that I am touching somebody. That sounded terrible. I'm hoping that I'm reaching somebody that is struggling. Because I remember when I first got in there, I was thinking, this is bull crap. This is not going to work, you know. And there has been an incident where a guy came up to me after the meeting and told me, you know, everything you just said, I truly needed to hear that. And he ended up getting an extension on his stay at Cerro Porto because of what I said in the meeting. So that really, really made me feel great. It made me feel like, hey, I'm really making an impact on these people because I've been in their exact positions. I've been in their exact positions. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video. So if you have any comments, I haven't really been getting comments, like questions and stuff, which, I mean, it's all good. It's all gravy. But if you have any comments, or if you want me to make another video about something else, I also do a video of diabetes. I do a video on my piercings. I'm going to actually start doing a video on my tattoos and where I get my tattoos done and who's my tattoo artist, because I only go to one person for a lot of my tattoos. He's awesome. He does great work. So just drop some comments down. Of course, subscribe as always, like my video, and I will make sure that whatever you guys want to see, I will definitely do it, and I will be honored to answer any questions that you have on addiction or any other thing of my videos. So you guys have a great day, and I'm gonna go and get this cat, do something with this cat. So, alright, peace.